There's only one word for it.
From Home Roots.
While experts were examining the way garlic prevents diseases, a more practical use of garlic was being made in the kitchens below. Garlic snails, the Willard Hotel way.
Next is we add the chopped shallots and our fresh garlic. Just a little bit of white wine. Very gently we fill in the escargots together with the garlic sauce into the center and let it just gently run it a little bit over. And then we top it up like so. And a fresh sprig of rosemary. And then it should be served very quickly to the table.
There's over 400 alliums in the species, but and many of these do grow wild. Some are very ornamental and others are culinary. The one that we have around here is called crow garlic because it's carried from field to field by the crow and is a real pest in farmers' fields and ends up in your bread flour. And that, of course, is where garlic bread first came from. It had nothing to do with any fine chef, but it was actually ground in by the millers and turned out as a flavored garlic bread.
These pigeons are not destined for the cooking pot. As with racehorses, these pigeons are pampered by their trainers and given copious amounts of garlic for the same health reasons. A healthy pigeon attracts a high price.
200 to start at $300 in advance, at 300, 3.5. At $500 in advance, I'm 5.5 at $550 a guard. At $550 in advance, I'm 5.5 at $550. Now it's $750 all done. That's $1,000. I got 1,000 and 1,000 now. 1,000 I got at the front here. At 1,000 now. At $1,000 all done.
Your husband might be one of these who makes too much cholesterol in his own body, and that's quite irrespective of the diet that he's on. This tends to particularly occur also in people under stress, and interestingly enough, in those who are on very low-fat diets. He might like to try a garlic supplement, as recent research indicates that the high-sulfur amino acids that are in the garlic can actually inhibit the body's own production of cholesterol.
Right. Is that the allicin we keep hearing so much about?
No, allicin's one of the main substances in the garlic that causes the garlicky smell, but it's also very unstable and probably is non-existent in the garlic products that we see on the shelf.
Garlic is one of the great medicinal foods that's been used for many thousands of years. It has many applications and it's been used just about every part of the body you can imagine. Garlic is a great natural substance for getting rid of toothache. And for anybody who has a mouthful of amalgam fillings that contain mercury, it's just as well to take a little garlic every day, simply so that the high sulfur amino acids present in the garlic can actually bind up to the mercury, rendering the mercury inactive.
In both southern France and China, peeled garlic is put into a little water and grown in the center of the table. This is for superstitious reasons, to deflect the evil eye or envy. The added advantage is that the strong garlicky tops can be used in salads and cooking. Another way in which the art of cooking with garlic is spreading around the world is the training of chefs. Here at André Degain's restaurant, these apprentices are being trained in the classical French style.
This garlic can be used either as a condiment for flavor or as a vegetable. When it's well cooked, or more so when it's cooked for a long time, it becomes a very interesting vegetable. We're now going to prepare a recipe of stuffed rabbit with garlic confit. You might be surprised that you can use all this garlic, but not at all. When it's cooked properly, when it's simmered, it becomes soft, and we can eat it as a vegetable. You will see that puree of garlic and garlic are both very edible and do not leave an overpowering smell.
Mi chitarra está cansado de tanto hacer el camino. de tanto hacer el camino, mi guitarra está cansada, camino. De tanto hacer el camino, está llenita de polvo y sarpicones de vino, está llenita de polvo y sarpicones de vino.
No race is more passionate about garlic than the Spanish. Hundreds of tons were sent with the Armada in 1588 to end washed up on the shores of England. In spite of how it is used, regardless of the amount, first it has to be topped and tailed. And remember, cut or bruised garlic smells. Garlic is rubbed on skins when drums or tambourines are made. It is rubbed into castanets and is used for the most famous Spanish musical instrument, the guitar. Next time you hear a top-quality guitar or stringed instrument, a little of that magic may be from the stinking rose, garlic. After the Spanish have oiled their furniture, it is rubbed with garlic to give it that rich patina, while sculptors use garlic to harden soft patches in marble. In Spain, nearly everyone uses garlic.
I use garlic to treat the wood I paint on. Garlic was used traditionally to prime the wood and maintain the texture. It was also used to prime plaster for painting on. I believe the origin is from Roman times. It gives a very subtle texture to the wood. It allows the texture and the grain of the wood to be seen through the paint.
Here in Toledo, where some of the most violent battles of the Civil War took place, garlic's ability to disinfect and kill bacteria was well known. Garlic was also squeezed into wounds during the First World War, totally preventing gangrene, and thousands of people owe their lives and limbs to the humble herb. A modern superstition purports that garlic held in the hand while taking the driving test is a lucky talisman. Look in any Spanish cookbook, and almost every dish contains large amounts of garlic, including the classic gazpacho. Another famous soup that started life as a poor man's dish is garlic soup. Now it appears on almost every menu to be consumed by rich and poor, making them all the healthier for eating it. Rubbing the bowl with garlic is not to add flavor, it's to prevent the bowl cracking on the heat. The Spanish are passionate about most things, including garlic. So after the back-breaking work of harvesting the garlic, it's time to celebrate with a garlic festival. Dr. Vivian Reeve, Senior Research Fellow, Sydney University.
My field of research at the University of Sydney for the last 10 years has been in skin cancer induced by sunlight. I've just come home from the First World Garlic Conference in Washington, D.C., where I heard recent research findings describing uses of garlic to cure cancers caused by chemicals. And this gave me an idea. The idea was that if feeding garlic could reduce the incidence of chemically caused cancers, it might also reduce the incidence of sunlight-induced cancers. So I've been feeding my mice diets supplemented with aged garlic extract. And what we have done is look to see the effect on the mice of sunlight exposure. And we've found that those mice fed garlic extracts have been protected from some of the ill effects of sunlight exposure.
The thought of eating garlic to prevent skin cancer and damage by the sun is not new. The Prophet Muhammad recommended people eat garlic before going into the sun. Soon, maybe the smell of garlic will replace that of suntan oil, And if nothing else, it will guarantee a clear patch of sand.
People are more interested in eating a product that has no smell or less smell associated with the garlic, rather than having that garlic breath linger with them from a long period of time and then going out in public and having people taking a step back every time they talk to them. Now, these non-volatile components are of interest in things like powdered garlic, garlic that's been suspended in vinegar, which is used for salad dressings, health pills. It's used in, even in fresh garlic, these non-volatile compounds are found.
As a remedy in the treatment of arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. And there we combine it with the famous, in Scandinavian at least, potato water fast, where we take 1 kilo potato and boil it together with 3 liters of water. And then we use this, we sieve, and then we use this potato water together with 10 cloves of fresh garlic squeezed in a garlic press every day. And there you see 3 things always happening during this fast after a certain time. A reduction of joint swelling, a reduction of pain, and a better mobility. Those 3 things ever take place. And this is very well known in Scandinavia, where we have made many investigations in health clinics and also in the hospitals who has shown these effects.
When I was in Bombay in January 1990 for a conference on medicinal plants, a colleague of mine from a local university there in Bombay took me down to a bazaar area. There was a fellow who was handling some king cobras, letting these cobras crawl around, handling them with his hands, not using any type of safety devices. As I was watching this, one of the king cobras, quick as thought, struck out at the man's hand and bit him. And this fellow very calmly went and put his hand up and went and spit on it and put some saliva mixed with some vegetable matter that he had been chewing all the while. And I turned to my friend and I said, well, what was that he applied? And he said he was chewing a species of Indian garlic, and mixed with the saliva, he had just rubbed it on, and that is an old Ayurvedic remedy that will help to neutralize the toxins that are secreted from the cobra into the bloodstream of the unlucky individual.
And the history of garlic, going back 5,000 years, is so rich that you could really devote a lifetime to exploring the meaning of garlic. So garlic became an art form, and in Berkeley, garlic became a festival of its own, and that led to the Gilroy Festival. Garlic is the great funny food of world gastronomy, because whenever you have stink, you have humor.
Can we have a round of applause for our video orator back here? Stay up here.
Eureka. Eureka garlic, you smell awful.
When it comes to garlic festivals, Gilroy in California, the center of garlic growing in the United States, has the largest festival in the world. Here, 250,000 people absorb and exhale over 10 tons of garlic in 3 days. Buckets of garlic sauces, drums of spaghetti, miles of garlic bread, washed down by countless gallons of beer and even garlic-flavored wine. A popular event is the garlic topping. Here, garlic toppers and tailors race each other, cutting the garlic as they do at harvest time. This is the Christian Dior winter collection. Beautiful women in beautiful clothes. But Christian Dior forbade his models to eat garlic due to the smell it leaves on the clothes.